for tuning in to Living on the Cheap and Trying to Figure It Out. Today we're going to talk about real food and clean eating. So, the other day I went to the library and I picked up a book. Actually, I picked up 2 books. The 100 Days of Real Food. Yeah, real food. And she's got a second book, 100 Days of Real Food, Fast and Fabulous. Can you see that there? Anyhow, I picked these up at the library, and this is not just a cookbook. It is so informative. There's the first book, that's how much is information. That's how much is recipes. So there is so much information here. She talks about eating, what made her decide to start eating real food with her family, with her kids. She watched a film, which I encourage everyone to watch. It's called Food Inc. And it's produced or directed by Michael Pollan. I can't remember. But he also has a book, and I really recommend The Omnivore Dilemma. An omnivore is a person who's neither vegetarian or strictly meat eater. Pretty much will eat everything and anything. So we will have vegetarian meals, we'll have meat meals. Pretty much all humans are omnivores by nature. We choose to be vegetarians or vegans, or other health diet issues, whatever. But she goes into like what to look for, why, what kind of things that we perceive as healthy. One of the ones, and I thought I bookmarked it, was cereals, and I thought that was really interesting. Things that we'll consider to be healthy cereal, and holy moly, is it not? Just trying to find that page real quick here. Of course I can't because I didn't bookmark it. But Special K. The con for Special K, for instance, contains only refined grains: rice, wheat, gluten, wheat germ. Refined sugar is the top 3 ingredients. I didn't even know there was sugar in Special K. Did you? There's more comments on that. Another one, Earth Balance Original Buttery Spread. Now, because of the name Earth Balance, we're going to think it's so healthy for us and good. The first ingredient contains refined oils. Contains vague natural flavor additives. So that means the flavors have been taken out when they produce the food, and then as a chemical, that flavor chemical that they had removed goes back in. Why did they remove it if they're going to put it back in? Makes you kind of think, doesn't it? Trader Joe's multigrain crackers. I always think Trader Joe's has excellent choice in foods. The first ingredient is refined wheat flour. Contains more sugar, which is the third ingredient, than whole grain. Kind of makes you go, what are we putting into ourselves? Here's another good one. This is a personal pet peeve. I am very particular about my peanut butter. Growing up, my mother would only go to the deli where they would actually smash up the peanuts behind the counter, and then you would get fresh, they would have roasted peanuts and squish them up, and you would get fresh peanut butter, and it was the best. Anyhow, I was looking at this, and it says Jif Natural Creamy Peanut Butter Spread. Get this, the real food con. It goes through, it tells you the ingredient list and what the Real Food Pro is, but I'm just going to read out the cons. You'll have to get the book and read the whole thing. The con is it contains unnecessary additives, including sugar, oil, and salt. Did you know peanut butter doesn't need any of that? Naturally, peanut has its own oils. So when you make natural peanut butter, which is just peanuts squished up, the oils will separate from the peanut butter, and that's why you always get that oil, that thick layer of oil on top. You could just pour it out. Usually I save that for smoothies because it's still nutritionally valued. It's got a lot of nutrients in it because it is peanuts, or derived from peanuts. But yeah, there's things in here that kind of make you go, And I have watched Food Inc. a few years back. It was on Netflix. You'll have to check if it's still there. I don't know. And after watching that, it kind of makes you think, what are we really putting into our diets? And so I started cooking at home more and more. And I'm pretty particular about what I eat when I eat out. I look at things more strictly, I guess I would say. Sugar doesn't need to be added to a fruit parfait, yogurt and fruit, and maybe real whipping cream. A lot of times it's not real whipping cream if they have a whipping topping on anything. But yeah, the recipes in here are really simple, everyday stuff. I'll read one to you real quick. Apple cinnamon chips. How can you go wrong? All the ingredients that you need. Oh, it says here, this is one thing I like. The difficulty. So every recipe has a difficulty level. This is easy. Prep time, less than 15 minutes. Bake time, more than an hour. Makes 2 to 4 servings. Special tools needed. She goes into detail about that. Ingredients. Butter for greasing the pan, 2 apples, any variety, 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon. how easy is that? She does have a little bit more in detail. Here we go. Whole wheat pasta with kale pesto cream sauce. One of her rules is to, when you buy products, is to use products with less than 5 ingredients. So she does use boxed pasta, which I was very surprised with, quite honestly. So this is a whole wheat pasta with kale pesto cream sauce. And I made one very similar to this. And I think the recipe is almost exactly the same, actually. So difficulty, medium. Prep and cook time, less than 30 minutes. Seasonal note, use locally grown kale in the winter and spring and locally grown basil in the summer. What I do is I actually freeze the kale if I can, or the basil in the spring. 8 ounces of uncooked whole wheat pasta. 1 1/4 cups loosely packed shredded stemmed, so no stems of the kale leaves. 1 3/4 cups loosely packed fresh basil leaves. 3/4 cup fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Fresh, not the packaged stuff we find in the refrigerator stuff, not the stuff by Kraft, because if you look at the ingredients, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, and she goes into detail about the difference with the ingredient list and the nutritional value list, which I find a lot of people do get confused. So it's interesting to read. You might read a can of tomato sauce, and it'll have a high number in sugar. Well, tomatoes naturally are sweet, so it has natural sugar. So if you're looking at the nutritional value and it has a high number of sugars, it's because tomatoes have sugar. They're naturally sugar. But the thing is, when you eat fresh squeezed tomato juice, you might eat 10 tomatoes, whereas if you eat a whole tomato, you get the fiber and everything, you're only going to eat a couple of tomatoes at most. Or fresh apple juice. To make a cup of fresh apple juice, you need 6 to 8 apples. But if you're going to eat an apple, you'll get everything, the fiber and everything, and that's how nature intended. And you'll only eat 1, maybe 2 at a time, and it will fill you up. So these kind of things kind of stick with me. She does recommend juicing. I don't. I do have a juicer. We did juice for many years. I've been kind of stepping away from that. People have been telling me I can blend my whole fruit, but I find why nature made apples just perfect the way they are, so why don't we just eat fresh apples? So that's just my thoughts. Anyhow, the ingredients are very easy. She has a website as well, and I fell on her website by accident. That's how I found out about the books, but I totally recommend it. This is a recommend. Read again. I'm going to be copying a ton of recipes from. Now, I haven't read all the information on this one, but I think it's pretty much a shortcut of the first book. I think her information is just easier to read, less informative. It's just a lot of pages refer back to here, but there are new recipes in here, and that's one thing I really enjoyed. She even has, as you can picture, cake, carrot cake, which I never thought of carrot cake as all that green. I don't know why, I just didn't. But like, she has cinnamon glazed bananas. So there's more sweets in this book than there is in the first book, but I did quite enjoy reading the recipes. There was a potato soup, slow cooker potato soup. In the first book, there's a lot of slow cooker recipes, which I quite enjoy because I hate slaving in the kitchen all day long. In the first and second book, there's a huge section on lunches for lunchbox. And so she goes through a ton of lunchbox ideas and things like that. So I just find the books are awesome, absolutely awesome. She has a risotto recipe in the first book that I'm dying to try that uses brown rice instead of white rice. And I've been trying to stay away from white rice for quite some time. Lately, I haven't been eating a whole lot of rice because I went through that 28-day reset. And I haven't tried rice since the reset. I can't remember. Have I? We'll have to see if I like rice or not. If my body likes rice. My tongue likes rice, but we'll see. Anyhow, I totally recommend The 100 Days of Real Food. And it's by Lisa Leek. Can you see her name there? I hope it shows up the right way because when I look at it, it's backwards. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed today's video and we will see you tomorrow.